Here at Wyopreps.com, we continue with our football game of the week feature. And in the small school division this week, we spotlight a couple of six-man teams. And it's a big North Conference matchup between a couple of rivals as fourth-ranked Meeteetse goes on the road to third-ranked Burlington Friday afternoon, visiting with Burlington head coach Trent Aagard. It's been a few weeks since I chatted with you. That was before the, how shall I put it, the unfortunate one down in Bags. We'll just put it that way, Trent.
Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
Take me through three wins since that game. So you come in 3-1. You're undefeated in the conference. Talk a little bit about the progress maybe you've seen out of your squad right now, Trent.
I think Bags was a real wake-up call for some of our guys, yeah, unfortunately you have to have those once in a while, but that's kind of what I felt like it was. They've been a lot more focused and a lot more eager to learn and a lot more eager to play team ball and stuff like that. So you don't want to have a game like that, but sometimes you got to make the best out of them when they do come.
Obviously, a learning experience there, but are you at least happy with what you've seen in terms of how they've played, especially to start conference play, which obviously means a lot more from a seeding perspective in the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm happy with the way they played. I'm probably more happy with the way they've been practicing and the effort they've really been putting in, and kind of their mindset has been probably what I've been the most happy with.
Obviously, you had a couple all-state guys coming back in Bassett and Broderloh. Have other guys stepped up for you that have maybe risen their level of play that maybe bodes well for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think Tyler Winters, we're seeing some really good things out of him, and Weston Godfredson's coming along pretty good at Reichel Andrew, and let's see. Yeah, like our whole senior class, all of them are starting to step up a little bit. Some of them were more role players last year. This year they're a little more featured, and maybe when that spotlight's first on you, it's kind of hard to deal with or to know what to do. But I feel like they're kind of coming into their own there in their roles and what we ask them to do. So yeah, I'm kind of pleased with the whole crew there.
And it sounds like, just from what I'm hearing you say here, Trent, is that your team maybe starting to round into form a little bit as you get towards the back half of this schedule, which, I mean, you don't want to be playing your best ball at the beginning of the year, even though it was a tough one against Little Snake, but I mean, trending in the right direction, I guess.
Yeah, um, yeah, there got to be a lot of growth, from the beginning to the end of the year. And last year, kind of the same thing happened. We went to Custer, Montana, and got beat pretty good up there, and really kind of helped the boys focus and kind of helped us focus on our own identity and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of what's happened here again. A tough loss, and you know, nothing takes wind out of your sails quite like that, but makes you refocus. And if you want to get back there, then you know the work you got to do to do it. And I think that boys are buying into that.
I talked with Zeb about this, but talk a little bit about this rivalry matchup. I think there are parts of the state that don't understand what a big rivalry it is between Burlington and Meeteetse.
Oh man, it's my dad played football back in the 50s for Burlington, and the stories that they had from the rivalry back then are kind of out of control, and we couldn't do anything like they did legally. But yeah, it's they're two close communities, kind of on the same river, and a lot of our people interact with each other. And man, there'll be farmers that don't care anything about football, but they're like, man, Meeteetse's coming. I don't want you guys to lose to them. We'll have to hear about it for the next year. So it's just kind of, yeah, it's one that means a lot to the community and a lot to the old timers, and so it's a fun one.
All right, so you get them at your place. What are your impressions of Coach Hagen's bunch coming to town?
They're always a good bunch of kids. They're always well coached. They're really disciplined. Um, they run hard. They play hard. They've been in some close battles, and teams like that can grow and get better and keep getting better. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing out of them is they've kind of fought through some adversity, and they're a really tight group, it looks like, and they really play hard for each other. So we don't expect anything different this weekend. They're going to be playing hard for each other, and they'll be good athletes. And that rivalry aspect of it is going to add a little more emotion for everybody. So yeah, it'll be an interesting one for us.
So What does a game like this kind of come down to? I guess what are you emphasizing with your group to focus on?
Um, we just kind of got to you know, maybe try to take some of the emotion out of it a little bit, not get so much caught up in the highs and the it's also our homecoming week. So, that's kind of another one of those things, but kind of try to take some of the emotion out of it and get back to the basics of what we want to do. And I always tell the boys, if you find things going sideways, you just got to find one small thing to work that you can do right and work on that and then build from that. And so probably start with some of those small things, at least initially in the game, to try to keep our emotions in check and, do the things that we can do well and see what we can build on from there. So that's probably what we'll try to do.
Trent, thanks so much for the time. Wish you best of luck against the Longhorns on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, David.
We continue talking about our Wyopreps.com fan voted small school game of the week, and we head to six man, and it is Meeteetse taking on Burlington. And already talked with Burlington head coach Trent Aagard. Now time to visit with Zeb Hagen, the head coach of the Meeteetse Longhorns. Zeb, off to a 4-0 start so far. What are you seeing out of your squad here early in the season, or I guess midway through the season here?
Yeah, no, we've seen a lot of good things. We've kind of had a younger team the past couple years, and I guess some still might consider us to be a young team. But we have some guys that have definitely grown up and evolved their game quite a bit. So it's been kind of fun to watch. Some kids have really stepped up and filled some roles that we've kind of been missing for the last couple years. And so yeah, it's been fun. They've been competitive, great energy. But we also know we have a lot of work ahead of us too, because we're going to be playing some really, really good teams here down the stretch. And I think the six-man North is as competitive as it's ever been, and it's going to be a tough finish down the road.
Talk about specifically what are you working on here in the middle of the season? You talked about continuing to improve. So what's been your focus, your emphasis with the kids right now?
I think every season we try to not settle for anything. We're gonna hammer home the fundamentals. We're gonna try to become better tacklers. We're gonna try to, become better blockers. All those things every week, and it doesn't matter who we play. We kind of want the mindset of, hey, we want to play in November, and in order to do that, we gotta get better and not settle for being 4-0 or for a win here or there. We want to just kind of trying to keep improving. So yeah, we're going to fine tune a lot of things on all sides of the ball and just keep trying to get more and more depth too at every position. And, even in our situation where we might not have as many guys, but we're going to have guys that can play multiple positions. So, in events that things come up, they can jump right in and fill those spots.
Tough one on the road for you this week as you take on the defending champion Burlington Huskies. I saw them kind of take it on the chin back in week one down at Little Snake River over in Bags, but obviously Coach Aagard's squad has gotten a lot better. What do you see right now when you see the Huskies?
Oh, they're solid. They got a really big senior class. I think they do have a lot of depth, pretty big and physical. And they're well coached, and we got our work cut out for us. I mean, it's going to be a battle for sure. Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to it, to this challenge, and but yeah, we respect what they're going to bring, and we're just going to hope our guys are ready to go and have ourselves a good football game on Friday.
That leads me to my next question, and I never ask coaches to take me through your game plan or anything, but what do you need to see out of your guys to give you an advantage and to maybe tip the scales in your favor a little bit this week?
I think just keep that confidence right from the start and throughout the whole game. I mean, six-man can turn in a hurry, but it can be a game of runs, kind of like basketball sometimes. So if you can, kind of withstand some of the things against you and still battle back, I think that's going to be key. Maybe even for both teams on both sides. Hopefully it's kind of one of those games, and by the end of it, if we can have a few more possessions of the football with success, then I think we'll be in good shape.
How do you go about dealing with their physicality when maybe you and your squad are maybe not quite on that level?
You got to be aggressive. Like, we might not maybe have as big guys or might not have as many guys, but we the low guy wins, and the guy that's not afraid to stick his head in there and make a play. That's kind of the mindset that we have here, or at least try to instill in these kids. So, and we use our advantages too. We got some good speed. We got some pretty good athletes too, and across the board, and try to get the ball to them, and everybody else kind of fill a role and help them have that success. That's kind of what we hope for and look forward to.
I know a lot of people around the state probably don't think of this as a rivalry, but it's pretty big up in your guys' neck of the woods, considering basically the closest six-man rival that you have. So what is it? Can you kind of take me behind the scenes of this rivalry matchup between the Huskies and Longhorns?
Yeah, I mean it is, and it doesn't matter which sport it is. I mean, you could go back to the preseason previews, and you could probably tell just based off some of those interviews who the rivals are. But no, it is. I mean, there's been some good games and some good battles here between these schools, and both of us have had some good teams over the years. And yeah, it's no secret up on the Grable River for sure that this is the rivalry up here, and it's the game that I'm sure both sides are always thinking about. So it's exciting. That's high school football. That's how it should be, and yeah, I hope it always continues. So
Zap, thanks so much for the time. I wish you best of luck at Burlington coming up.
all right, thank you, David.